Hello everyone, this is Lawrence Lucas. I'm doing a vinyl video of 4 albums I found at thrift stores I'm very excited about. 2017 and 18 were great years for thrift store vinyl hunting. I found a lot of great releases from all genres of music, from historical stuff to the more recent contemporary music. From jazz to pop to rock and roll, easy listening, just the whole 9 yards. And I really added to my album collection during those years and previous years. This year, I think I will concentrate more on 180 gram new vinyl buying, because the thrift store albums buying, the supplies kind of drying up, not as good as it used to be. Number of factors, mainly the vinyl revitalization, because people are hitting the thrift stores now, buying albums to flip them. When Uncle Billy dies, the former hippie, the family are not dumping the albums at thrift stores like they used to. They would take them to independent record stores to see if they can get some money, or just flip them themselves, or keep some of the most desirable titles. But I got into thrift store vinyl buying right before the vinyl revitalization comeback hit, about a year or two before that happened. So I kind of got on the ground floor of it. But I was able to add so much to my vinyl collection. I mean, when CDs came on, I put all my vinyl in storage. I didn't get rid of them like a lot of people did. I said to myself, well, I better hold on to these, And when vinyl started coming back, I took them out of storage, set up a vinyl room. I hit the thrift stores, and also started buying newer music on 180 gram vinyl, because you get the download card too. That's kind of a pricey, so I haven't. Well, I got a nice collection. I haven't bought nearly as much as I would like to, but this year I think I'm going to put my money towards that area. So this video is 4 albums I purchased. I went to see the Queen movie a few months ago, and with some friends, and on the way to their house I stopped at the thrift store, the one I go to more often, and ran across these amazing finds. And they're called the Singers, 1940s and 1950s. I'll show you the first one. They're part of the Columbia Jazz Masterpiece series. And I do have a number of albums part of that series, so I added these 2 to it. There's the one for the 1940s, right there. Isn't that a beautiful cover? And on the back, you have information on each song, who plays on them, and also a little write-up about that period. So that's so cool. And on the cover is big band singer Anita O'Day. And boy, don't she look so cute there, and so young and kind of innocent, with the microphone. Nice smile. The hairstyle of that period, when my mom was young, that is so cool. So the artwork alone is really nice to have. What I'm going to do is pull up discography, and I'll provide the links at the bottom. You can pull that up and see all the artists on this album, on both of these albums. Because I'm not going to read them off. I'll just mention a few names. Most of them are pretty well known. but some aren't. You know, like Mildred Bailey, Slim Gillard and his Floogie Boys. I'm looking for Slim Garland and the Slim Stewart Palm Spring Jump. Eddie Clearhead Vision. But you got your known people like Joe Turner, Nat King Cole with June Christie. You got Woody Herman here, who's a big band leader, but he's doing a track with a vocal. That's pretty cool. Nat King Cole, Sarah Vaughan, so those are your more known peoples. Peggy Lee, and then there's Roy Etheridge, not quite as known. Billie Holiday is on here. So, the great singers. More high-profile names with some of the lesser household names. And then this is same one type, the 1950s, great singers. And you got the more well known as the I mentioned on the other disc, but Jimmy Rushing, Rush, Rushing, Billie Holiday, Louis Armstrong. You got less known people too as well. Johnny Mattis is on here. That's cool. Doris Hawkins, Benny Carter, Barb Gonzalez. Anyway, I'll put the Wikipedia, not the Wikipedia, the Discog links so you can click on and see what songs, what singers, and all that. This is getting into like the music historical side, from that period, and I wasn't around then, and I'm just in recent years catching up on it. So I don't have the encyclopedia knowledge. I'm not a musical historian. Just, you find music like this on vinyl. It's great. You listen to it, and that's how you become educated. These are digitally remastered direct from the original analog tape. Right there, both of them. They're still in shrink wrap, and whoever had these took extremely good care. It's like they opened them up. They're still in shrink wrap. Played them once and put them back in. The vinyl is in padded inner sleeves, and that's the label right there. Clean as a whistle. They're a little noisy in places with little click and pops. That's the U.S. Navy pilots flying above us. But overall, the sound quality is really good. This next album, I'm not going to say the title, but it's jazz singer Maxine Sullivan. I did not know who she was, and I'm pretty decent my knowledge of jazz, but I was with a friend who goes with me to all the thrift stores, and he saw this album and he said, "Hey, you should get this album." And so I got my smartphone, listened to some snippets. I liked her voice. It turns out she's on one of the or actually two tracks on this album, okay, that were recorded in the 1940s. Now, what happened was, in the 1950s, she retired from music, raised her kids, and I think she was involved with education and lived a pretty, straightforward life. Not the self-destructive pattern as a lot of artists happen to them. and started coming out of retirement in like 1969. And because she had lived a pretty clean life and did not tour constantly, her voice was still in excellent condition. It had not weathered with age also. Um, this album she did came out in 1985. It's Maxine Sullivan sings Julie Stein with the Keith Ingram Sextet. Great liner notes in there and big write up. And I could see there's some, the American Songbook Standards, Just in Time, Saturday Night is the loneliest night of the week, Dance with Me, and just, other songs. She had a voice that I would call it as steady and as you go. She wasn't a show-off type of singer, but it had warmth to it. Very skillful, and it's just a really good. This is a really good album to listen to if you want to just kick back and listen to some vocal jazz that's kind of mellow. It doesn't, kick at you. So this is good. The last album RCA Victor Blues and Rhythm Review. So early development of what would become R&B. And this is two disc. There, it's in like mint condition, gatefold with pictures and information about the artists on the back, the song titles, who plays on them when they were released. And a lot of these artists I've never heard of before, like Lil Green, Earl Hines, I've heard of him, Etta Jones, Delta Rhythm Boys, Johnny Moore and Three Blazers, Rocket, Cabe Calloway, we all know who he is, Lucy Melliner, Jesse Stone and his orchestra. So a lot of unknown, but there's a few known. Count Basie and his orchestras on here, a couple of tracks. Early Little Richard, 1951, before he became big. There's two tracks by Little Richard recording at that time. And so your earliest recording on here is 1940, and the last one, the later recording, the latest recording is 1959 of the Isley Brothers doing Shout. There's a King Curtis track on here, recorded in 1956. So 1940s all the way up through the late 1950s. And again, it's on the RCA label, a compilation. Nice inner sleeves too. Pictures of the artists. Anastete Allen, never heard of her, but I liked what I heard from her. Great album too. So I'll put the link to this one as well. So it's really nice to find. Of course, these are all reissue compilations, except for the Maxine album. That's a album of music that was recorded in the 80s and released as an album. But the other three are compilations, going into the archives to put a nice compilations together. These all came out in the late 1980s or early 90s. So that they're really nice to have. I enjoy them. I enjoy playing them. Nice addition to my collection. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be doing more of the best you know, albums I found in 2018 and 2017. I'll pull about 4 out per video and try to keep them a little shorter. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I welcome your comments also. So want to wish everyone a happy and safe 2019. I can't believe we're in 2019. Somebody born in 1959. I feel ancient. You all take care. Bye.